Hello everyone, I thought I would make a really quick tutorial on how to get your moon data from Stellarium. So I've already set some adjustments in here to make it a lot easier. First thing I did was I went to the configuration window and I cleared everything off except for the name and the azimuth and altitude. So I got rid of all the other fields and just cleared those out of the way so they just won't be confusing, because this is what we need to know. We really need to know the altitude, so that one has to stay. So I set the date for this February 5th, so our first day of observing, 6 o'clock in the morning, because I know it was up at 6 o'clock because I was actually on my way to work that day. So that's where we're going to start at, so at 6 o'clock. So our first day's observation is at 6 a.m., so you're going to record that 6 a.m. or just 6 because it's 600 hours in military time. And you're going to record the direction, and we're going to just make sure we can see here. This is close enough between south, southwest, you can put either one. And then 39 degrees is what you need for that. The phase, we're going to go zoom in on the moon to get, and we're going to take a look at the moon phase. So it's more than halfway illuminated. And we're actually in that waning gibbous phase, so that's what you're going to record. And then we're going to figure out, well, what time did it rise? Well, since we know the moon rises in the east just like the sun, and since it's past the south, the midway point, which is south, we know that it's been up for several hours. So the easiest way to do this is just to go ahead and take our time, and we're going to just adjust that to go backwards. So in order to do that, we have two choices. We can either just click the down arrows here under our hours, or we can use the control and minus if we're using a PC, so we can just go back an hour. And we're going to watch our altitude there. So it's going to actually get higher because, like I said, we know it's past the midway point, and we're going to watch it and watch it and watch it. So we're watching our altitude because we want to see how far it takes us to get back. So this is about 7 hours, and notice it's almost here to the east, and so we're about 7 hours. If we go one more time, that'd be 8. It is now below the horizon, so we want to try and find it on the horizon. So we're going to go adjust our minutes up. So instead of adjusting by hours, we're going to go by minutes until we get that to where we start seeing that moon come up, right around there. So right around, and we might as well just say 22:30 was the estimated rise time, because that's close enough. So somewhere in there, so 22:30, 22:20, and that gives us our time, our rise time, which gives us a rise time, or so how many hours since it's been, since it rose? About 7.5 hours is basically what we're at. So anywhere between 7.5, 8 hours, that's fine, just so you get the idea. So let's go back to our time that we were at before. So we're going to go to 5, 6 o'clock, change our times, go center our moon in our field of view. So there it is again. And now we're going to go ahead and look at it for the next day real quick. So for the next day, 2/6, oh, it's a little higher in the sky, which means it rose an hour later than it did the day before. So real simple. Just adjust your times and you are good to go. So you can go and look at this. And you can once again zoom in on the moon and see that we're still not quite at the half. So not quite to that third quarter yet. We are still in the waning gibbous phase for one more day. Okay, and it's the next day when we jump forward and we take a look. There's that waning gibbous phase. It looks perfectly in half. We record our information again, so zoom out so you can see those cardinal directions. And so that's at the south, and 37 degrees on the 7th, 6 a.m. So that gives you most of that, and just adjusting your times. And remember, you can always go forward and back and see when it rose. And of course, you can always check when it sets too.